What's going on, guys? It's your boy Los from 54 Yards, aka Opinionated Media. However you want to follow us by or call us by, that is what I am. Finally over. Well, not finally over, but I'm over. I'm not over. I'm not over. It's not over. I'm not over it. I'm still mourning, but I finally have the courage, the energy to make this video. I'm still in heartbreak. You know, I'm still in the mourning phase, but we came a long way. And before I get into this video, shout out to the Washington Huskies. I mean, they deserve every bit of that win. They were well coached, well prepared. They did what they needed to do. Shout out to Michael Penix, man. That boy balled. He's a dog. Some say he got gypped to the Heisman. I don't know. That's definitely a debate between him and Daniels, but he showed every reason why he's one of the top quarterbacks in America and moved his way up the draft board. But shout out to them. Hey, go be Michigan, man. That's all I gotta say is go be Michigan. I'm not pulling for you guys, but I hope y'all win. It was a great game. I mean, going into half, it was really 14-14 for most of it, and then went up 21. They went up 21. No, we went up 21-14 right before half, and I was like, or something like that. I can't remember, but I was like, we have to score before half because they're gonna score like when they come out of half, and we can't go down 2 scores. Sorry for the autofocus. We just moved out of the apartment, and I'm still sitting in my room. I know the lighting's bad. I know it's fuzzy. It's gonna be like that. Probably just this video. I have lights coming in. I have a tripod for the camera coming in as well. So I'm gonna get all this set up. The lighting will be better and all that. So bear with me on this one video. I do apologize, but it will be better in the future. Quinn played great. I know there's been a lot of negative talk about how he played during the game or whatnot, but I think he played great. A lot of the stuff that we did, I don't think was because of him. I mean, in the whole first half, we're behind the chains the whole first half. We're in 3rd and long, 6-7 times in the first half, something like that. And when you're playing in the college football playoff and you're playing a team like Washington, you can't afford to be behind the chains. Think that you're going to get a first down because they do have a good defense, and it showed. They have a great defensive lineman. They have a great DB, which is one of the cousins to Muhammad on our team. Yeah, you just can't work. Third and longs are hard to get to begin with, and then to get a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, whatever the case was, it's that much harder. I think we should have ran the ball in the first half a lot more than what we did. We had so much success running the ball in the first half. So I don't know why Sark, I guess, went away from it or didn't stick with it. I know during the game they said he had 40 plays scripted, which is a lot. But I think like your first 2 drives should be scripted, not for your first 40 plays. But we should have ran the ball, man. I think we would have controlled the game a lot more running the ball than we did throwing the ball, because we were gaining 7 yards a carry in the first half running the ball. Like I don't understand why we didn't run the ball. Like we were showing them that we were beating them up front when we ran the ball. We just weren't running it. I don't know if he just wasn't which I feel like he should have been confident with the last 2 games that we had with JB being out, but I don't know if it's because JB was out, and it sucks because I do wish JB was in this game, because I think he would have made a big difference of just us running the ball and maintaining possession. I don't think the time of possession would have been that drastic as it was, but those are like really the first half takeaways I do have. Just penalties hurt us a lot. Working behind the chains hurt us a lot. Not running the ball hurt us a lot. Like I feel like we could have really controlled the game if we ran the ball, and for some reason our players just were being too antsy and false starts and all that stuff. So that made us work behind the chains. It really helped that we did get that muff fumble or muff punt, I should say, and ended up scoring off that, because I think we would have been down 2 possessions at that point. Kind of been in like panic mode, which we kind of were towards the end, but I don't know, it was a little bit different. But so it's the first half I felt like we could have played a lot better on the play calling side of it than what it was. And the stats that Quinn gave in the first half didn't really show like how good he was playing, because I really did think Quinn played a great game all through. I mean, yeah, it's one throw that we'll get into later, that everybody's talking about, but at the end of the day, that one play doesn't determine the whole game. Like, there's stuff in between all the other, we'll say 59 minutes of the game or 59 minutes and 30 seconds of the game that caused these situations to happen. So, yeah, it sucks, but that one throw wasn't why we lost the game. But the other thing was just, first play pass of the game, man. First play pass of the game from Washington was almost a 75-yard touchdown. He rolled out. Well, I don't even think he rolled out. He just got it. He had like 3.5 seconds to throw the ball and threw a dime. And we had poor tackling. Luckily, we didn't give up on the play, and we did get it before they scored, but they scored anyways. So there wasn't much there. But yeah, I mean, the first play pass for Washington, the game was just a bomb, and they attacked our weakness, which going into this game, when they announced us versus Washington, I knew it was a bad matchup for us. I wanted to play Michigan personally, just because that matchup was a little bit better. It's not like our weakness the whole year has been our secondary. And that's what has gotten teams to come back against us when we were up a lot. Look at the K-State game in the second half. They threw for like, what, 200-300 yards? That's been our weak point, which is a bad weak point to have. That's been our weak point all season long. But next year is looking nice, looking good. We reloaded, and we got a lot of good pieces. But I mean, that's next year, not this year. But yeah, when we announced Washington, I just knew it was a bad matchup just because we have one of the worst pass defenses in the country. Pretty sure the best pass offense in the country. So that just kind of tells you all I need to know there, and it showed. There's really two. I'll put them up on the screen, but there's really only two that I can recall. Two moments where Watts was in great position, great defense. I mean, he was there. It's just good throw, good play. I mean, that's all it was. Just good throw, good play. I mean, you couldn't ask for better coverage. Sometimes better offense beats better defense. I don't know. That's just how it is sometimes. And then that just kind of was, that was the way it was kind of going for us all night. I felt like anywhere we were lined up, they just found a way to just get the completion or get the first down or get it, whatever it was. Like, even who tipped it? I can't remember who tipped it, but somebody tipped the ball on it, and they still caught it. Like, they still caught a touchdown. Like, they made a great play. They dove, they hit the ball, but they just didn't hit it hard enough, and they still ended up scoring a touchdown. That was heartbreaking. I just, like, when you're watching games or when you're playing something, whatever the case is, like, there's stuff that happens where you're just like, yeah, we were just meant to lose. That play was that play for me. Like, once we tipped it and they still ended up catching a touchdown, I was like, all right, we're meant to lose this game. Like, no matter what we did, there's nothing we could have done to, like, win that game. Like, that's how I felt. Anything they did, they just, unless they messed up on, they just did whatever they wanted, really. From on their defensive side, on the offensive side, they got through willingly, kind of on pass, like blitzes and whatnot. Quinn got pressured a lot. Quinn took his sacks. They made Quinn hurry up and throw the ball, which turned into incompletions where people were open. But if you're following since last year, I said last year that, I think the team last year would go. I think I gave them like a 5-7 or 6-6 season, but I wasn't expecting much from them because they're young. There's a lot of gray area. We didn't know about the offensive line, the run game, all this and that. And then I was like, next year for this season, I was like, this is when I expect something from us, and this is when I think we will actually do something. This year comes, and we'll make it to the college football playoff. But again, shout out to those guys, man. They balled. They did their thing. Michael Penix balled. They got. I mean, the big thing for us was just we have to get pressure on him, which, funny enough, it looked like we didn't get pressure on him. Everybody that played, we got the second most pressures on him. Utah was the first at 23. We had the second most pressures at 20. The biggest difference was Utah got 3 sacks. We got 0 sacks. Every time we were close to touching him, he just evaded it, stepped up, ran, which he doesn't really do, or just completed a bomb. Which they're the best offensive. They got the award for a reason. Like, and it shows. Like they played well, man. They played well. I mean, I didn't even get to the second half. The second half, man, second half was just a heartbreaking part of it. Is why, because like obviously first half, like it's tied and whatnot, and it's tied. They come out, they score. Relatively quick. I think it was only like 3 plays or something. It was quick, and then I don't know why Sark took out Blue on the kick returns and put in Keelan. Which, not that Keelan's a bad punt returner, but he injured his hand. He had a big old club on his hand, so essentially he's just running the football with one hand. But he took him out, and then Keelan comes in. We get the ball back. First play, and we fumble. Second fumble of the game. That's like huge because they just scored, and they're the type of team, like once they have the lead, they kind of like control the game after that. Like they just do a very good job of controlling the clock and having time of possession. Like they really don't snap the ball until like 10 seconds under the play clock. They beat you in that way. And we fumbled, they scored, and then that's just what they began to do. It was tough, man. It was tough. When you can't give up 430 yards of passing offense and expect to go win a game. That, like I said, going into the game, I knew the DBs were our weak point. I knew that's what they were going to attack us. We shut down the run, except his run. So I think they watched a lot of the OU game, really, because they kind of did what OU did to us, which was they would just, like DG, the way DG beat us, like, all right, we know he's going to throw the ball, but like we're not expecting him to run. So here's a run. They're blitzing, so we're going to do a design quarterback draw to the left side. There's 11 yards, first down. Clock keeps going. Don't snap the ball. So like I think they studied a lot of the Oklahoma game because Oklahoma did the same thing to us, and that's how we lost to Oklahoma. I don't think the score really showed how bad we played defensively. Offensively, I think we played great, even though we had the 2 turnovers. I mean, it sucks, and you can't have those turnovers in those games. We really didn't turn the ball over that much this season. Obviously, when the lights are bright and it's a game that really matters, and you have those turnovers, that's the difference makers of the games, and that's what made the difference in these games, what I believe. I mean, we matched them in total yards. Our fourth quarter yards alone were like absurd. I think we had like 200 yards on offense, like 200 yards in the fourth quarter alone, something like that. But I know we had 498 total yards, which is almost 500 yards. They also gave up 500 yards as well, which I guess that's kind of contradicting to what I said. Is like you can't expect to win a game giving up 430 passing offense, but we also had 498 total yards, which is a lot. And we both had over 500 yards of offense, which kind of shows that there's no defense. 1,000 total yards in a game between both teams is absurd. And then they had 25 first downs. We had 23 first downs. So, I mean, besides the turnovers, we're neck and neck. And those are just the 2 difference makers. We thought the muff punt was going to be the difference maker for us, but we ended up having 2 fumbles, and that's kind of what caused the difference in the game. But, I mean, we got 241 days to go, man. I think from going forward, I wanna give a I don't know if I've said it on camera, but I've definitely told Cam, but I want to give a shout out to Sark, man. Sark has done a really good job, and I'm glad that we've stuck with him. He came in and he didn't have the best roster around him, and he came in, recruited very well, got the players he wanted. Second year, there's a lot of ups and downs. Quinn got hurt, had the lead going into half, blew the lead. There's a lot of ups and downs, man. And I was like, okay, well, he's not a second half coach. He needs to work on that. Comes in year 3, proves everybody that he's a second half coach. He recruited very well. He got the right players, and we went on to have an 11-2 season or 12-2 season, losing to Oklahoma and Washington. And for him to do that in 3 years, and for him to just completely turn the roster run that we had and be able to keep some of the star players that we had, like Xavier, Jordan Whittington, Dijon, like be able to keep all those players like what the roster you have is impressive. And this loss also hurt a little bit more because you can tell that this team was kind of all about brotherhood. Like everywhere, like you just saw it everywhere. This team just felt like they were a family, and you could tell. And everybody always gave their effort. Everybody always gave their all. Everybody always had somebody's back, and it showed. And that's what really impressed me the most because we haven't had that in a while at Texas. And I think that's part of the reason why we were so good is because we have that brotherhood back. We have that culture back to what it used to be. And I hope that it continues to go in the right direction. I think it will. He's already showing that he's reloading on the defensive end. Not the position, but like our actual defense. But we did reload on the defensive end. We got a nice pass rusher coming from UTSA. But I mean, like that. Like we got some nice DBs coming in. We got some flips that were committed to other schools for a while, and then ended up flipping them, and now they're coming to play for Texas, and they're 5-star DBs, high 4-star DBs. We get the safety from Clemson. That's a Austin, Texas kid already, and now he's coming to play in Austin, and he's proven himself at Clemson. So, and then Muhammad balled out this year. He's a true freshman starting all season long, and he played very well. And obviously, when he play a whole season, going into next season, you're gonna be that much better. So I'm very excited to watch him play and see him play. But I think going forward, I think we'll be just fine. I don't want to touch too much on like Quinn staying or leaving because by the time this video comes out, you just really don't know what's gonna happen. I'll just say I think Quinn does stay. Xavier already left. I'm assuming 80's gonna leave. Sweat's leaving. Rumors are Alfred Collins is staying. So there's a lot of stuff, man. It's you know how college football is these days. Like every minute, every second, every hour, like there's just something changing. So I don't want to touch too much on that. But I think Quinn stays. I mean, everybody else is kind of gone. I mean, I guess I'll just throw it out there. I think Arch stays. I didn't think he was gonna leave to begin with, but I just want to give a shout out to all the seniors, especially Jay Witt. Man, he's. I feel like he was one of the biggest pieces of our program. He was the heart and soul of the team, and he was one of the guys where no matter what, he gave it his all. Every down, every play, every time he was on the field. I feel like he took a step back and kind of knew that his role wasn't number 2 target anymore. I think he kind of knew that he was more of a safety blanket. Like, let me throw it to him when I needed it. But when he did get the ball, he made amazing things happen. I was big on him last year. I said that he was always hurt. He's a great receiver, just always hurt. Great receiver, always hurt. This year, and stayed healthy. Last year, stayed healthy, and he showed like what he can do when he's on the field, and that he is a problem when he is on the field. But I'm gonna miss that guy. He has a special place in my heart. 80, he was only with us for a season, man. But I mean, God, I mean, I don't know. There's just so much to say about that man. He made some of the biggest plays in Texas history, saving our season. I feel like he was another player that came in and helped shape the culture to what is now, not from like a personality standpoint, but just taking what he learned at Georgia and applying it over here and bringing that championship mentality to Texas, back to Texas. So I'm gonna miss him. X, I mean, you were with us through thick and thin, man. I mean, you know the OP family all too well. I mean, we've done stuff with you already, so I just appreciate you sticking around, staying with us. I know times are hard. I know you probably had your differences, but I mean, you're one of the GOATs for the receiving core at the University of Texas, and I don't think anybody will deny that either. But yeah, I mean, here's to the 2024. We're going to the SEC. I think it'll be great. We have 7 home games, 4 away games, and 1 neutral game. So it's looking for like another good season. The playoff is expanding. We don't know what that's going to look like or how that's going to be. But it is expanding. Hopefully we're back in it. Hopefully we're back to competing for another national title. I think we have what it takes, especially reloading on the defensive part of it. And then our offense is going to go crazy, man. Yes, we lost some big names, but we're also going to have some big names, man. I mean, y'all know how I am for Jonte Cook. I think he's going to be a really big part of our offense next year, and it's going to be exciting and fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I can nitpick about or talk about that I don't want to go too much into it. I mean, the Washington Huskies played a phenomenal game. Hats off to them. Outcoached and outbeat us, and there's not much you can say on that. You just got to take it on the chin for what it is. I mean, if y'all want to leave anything in comments that y'all think otherwise, or we could have done better, or the reasons why we lost, or whatever the case is, feel free to leave them. I know it hurts, it's disappointing. And now I'm hoping for is a Cowboys Super Bowl victory, baby. That's the only thing that can make this better. But hey, we stand tall. We wait 341 days. Or 241 days and counting, right? Let me see how many. Yep, 241 days and counting. I got to save, man. Colorado State putting up 60 on y'all. 60-0. I need like a 2005 national championship run. That's what I need. I really don't want. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is I really don't want to talk about the throw at the end. Just because, like I said, there's so many other plays at the end in the whole game. That is why we lost. Obviously, if he throws a dart, yes. Oh, you can't even say that because you really just don't know what's going to happen. If he throws a dart, maybe he catches it, maybe not. It's at the end of the day, it's still like you just don't know. What if he throws a dart, just doesn't get there? What if he throws a dart and he throws it behind him? It's pit. Like you just don't know. A lot of stuff can happen. I'm not gonna blame that one throw on the whole game or him not throwing a dart. Like yeah, it sucks, and you wish he just throws a dart there, but yeah, he didn't, and we lost, and that's the reality of it. But like I said, 341 days and counting. We stand tall. You know what? For this last little bit, this is what I'm gonna do. For this last sign off. I hope y'all can hear this. On the livelong day, the eyes of Texas are upon you. You cannot get away. Do not think you can escape them at night or early in the morn. The eyes of Texas are upon you till Gabriel blows his horn.